This one's a new one for me. I've never heard of this guy before. I have never heard of this guy before, but I do have to ask. Okay, because I just woke up around like 8. It's like 9 right now. I have to ask, are there a lot of people just trying to find um crazy people online that they can just mess with their heads? Um because they're so suggestible. Like, dude, if you're at Olive Garden, you decide to go to Olive Garden, will you sit down and just have a bowl of soup for fuck's sake? Oh my god. Dude is dropping F bombs in front of a toddler in the waiting area. What? How can. I mean, he's got some sort of paranoid delusion going on here. This is pretty nutty that not only did he live stream this, but that he hasn't been put in a psychiatric facility yet.
It seems like a month can't go by without Daniel Larson becoming a disturbance at a local Denver, Colorado establishment. Last month he went into that Panera Bread and ended up having one of the biggest freakouts I've ever seen in my life, calling the workers the N-word and everything, punching himself in the face over and over.
Oh my god, dude, just sit down and have your broccoli cheese soup and shut the fuck up. What the hell?
Again, and just like the thumbnail says, this man needs to be stopped. Usually I wait to the end of the video to give the moral of the story, but right now I just want to come out and say that this dude should be behind bars. There is no way that Daniel Larson, someone who is on probation, might I add, is able to constantly do the types of shenanigans that he does every single day, and yet he faces no repercussions for it. Look at today alone. Daniel's on probation, as I already mentioned, and he rolled up to this Olive Garden. And it's important to mention that the only reason he was here in the first place is because a bunch of trolls encouraged him to go, telling him that Grace Vanderwall and the entire Vanderwall family would be there to greet him. Grace Vanderwall being the girl that Daniel's been obsessed with, even back when she was underage. She was on America's Got Talent.
Oh my god, even. Like, seriously, just sit down and have your endless soup and salad and breadsticks. For real. Like, it's just a family restaurant. There are families there, and oh god, he's obviously mentally unstable. This is sad. It's sad that he not only has a platform, because all of these social media platforms like YouTube and Twitch and Twitter and TikTok and all of them are just, they absolutely cater to sick people who can be have a following in their live stream telling them to do stupid ass shit, and they will do it.
And everything, and Daniel basically does whatever these fake Grace Vanderwalls tell him to do, because best believe this is not the real girl texting him. It's always a troll, but Daniel always believes it. And he showed up here today because apparently the people who are also trolling him, like, he's getting trolled from about 4 or 5 different angles, and one of them told him, hey Daniel, the manager and some of the employees at this Olive Garden are in the back, and they are currently printing out and posting your nudes on Reddit and in Discord servers. Now,
and how the hell are your nudes out there, Daniel? Like, okay, so you're actually worried that this is a real thing. I mean, if somebody told me my nudes were out there, I would know that they were fucking lying, because there's no nudes. There's no nudes of me, period. I mean, if somebody had nudes of me, it would be an ex-boyfriend, and I would have found out about it by now. I mean, I would have definitely found out about it by now. But nobody's like secretly taking photos of me while I'm naked. Come on. How do you have nudes out there? Were you sending nudes to people? How do you have nudes out there?
Everyone listening to this goes, oh yeah, obviously that's not true. But Daniel didn't believe that. Daniel wholeheartedly believed that. Come to think of it, I don't exactly know what Daniel's whole plan here was. At some points in the video, he claims that he's at this restaurant waiting for Grace Vanderwall and her family to get there, and he needs like a table for 6 people, and he's gonna order for them and everything. But then at other moments, he's talking about, oh yeah, but the manager here, they're printing out my nudes and everything. So I don't know why he wanted to even eat at this establishment if they were doing that to him, but I digress. The reason I even made this video is because Daniel does this so much. He goes into these stores or wherever, and he constantly makes it hell for the employees in there. Just imagine you're at your job, and you constantly have to deal with this dude showing up and doing the things that Daniel does in this video. I haven't even gotten into the half of all the crazy stuff that goes on here, because I kind of want to save it in case you haven't seen it yet. But the manager who works here is still very cordial to Daniel, trying to figure things out at first, and then eventually Daniel just throws these wild accusations around to the point where they just want him to leave. But he's not gonna leave. You know why, ladies and gentlemen? Because everyone in this Olive Garden, employees anyway, are all under citizen's arrest from Daniel Larson.
God.
Yeah, he really tried to pull that.
Daniel, holy shit, dude. You were in a private establishment. We have the right to refuse service. Get the fuck out. Oh my God, with this guy.
Guard. But first, let's see how the manager talked to Daniel before everything got escalated.
Okay, so, are you guys, taking pictures and then leaking my location?
No, you're.
Because...
We don't go on the meet. We don't do any of this.
Okay.
We don't do any of this. That's what I'm trying to tell you. We've had like multiple phone calls about you.
Right, and
So
then...
when someone calls and says, I'm looking for Daniel Larson, we've had people explain what you look like, and I just say I can't answer that.
Right, and then I do have, I have a group of 8 people coming total.
6.
It was 6, but we added 2 more people.
Okay. Well, your table's already separate, so you'd be good there.
Yeah. So, I was just notified by a CEO of another company, a major corporation, that is also coming with the FBI.
Okay.
Because we're getting notified that, like, one of the employees or somebody here is leaking, leaking personal information of me on the internet.
My employees don't have personal information about you. You're on the internet. You have a different page.
Right, and I do.
Okay.
But we're actually being notified by the FBI that one of the employees here
It wasn't my employees. They're not allowed to.
Because they're already in the parking lot.
Oh, really? Okay, so the FBI, they're just in constant contact with you? About what? You're in an Olive Garden, for fuck's sake. Are you for real? You actually believe what's being written in your chat? And who's the CEO of a major corporation that you supposedly are getting updates from? You don't realize your fan base is trolling you? Oh my God.
They're waiting.
That means they can come in and sit at your table, right?
Right.
Okay. So I'm just gonna tell you again. None of my employees are leaking.
Look at the crazy in that guy's eyes. Oh my God. He's just yep, I believe all of this. I know that this is my reality right now. This is all happening. Yep. He's totally harassing this poor staff of people at an Olive Garden with his delusions, and his fan base is egging him on.
Any information about you. They're not even allowed to be on their phones from 5 to 8. So that's not us. I do know that most Olive Garden booths decorations are a normal thing in everyone's house. Like people can see that you're at an Olive Garden
Right.
because of this wood.
Right, and
So
that's normal.
Okay, so that's not us. That's you.
That right.
Yes.
But you did tell me that you did get the confirmation about the reservation.
No, I didn't get confirmation about your reservation.
I have it on video
Okay,
from earlier.
what I'm going to tell you is somebody called and said that they would be here in 20 to 30 minutes.
Right, and I got that
But
confirmation.
it was a name that you didn't know, and they said that they were your aunt and uncle. And you said no.
And then you said the person's name, and
you
then
said
I
no.
verified it, and yes,
Okay.
we
so-
had that person come.
Okay, so I've gotten about 6 or 7 phone calls about you tonight. And they're all telling me, except for that one, that you are going to ring up a bunch of food and then not pay for it.
Those are just normal trolls
Okay,
calling.
they're not normal for us. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It's not
Right.
normal for us.
I'm a Hollywood celebrity, so that's why we wanted the food ordered.
Don't you know who I am? I've never heard of this guy before. I'm a Hollywood celebrity. Okay. I've never heard of you before. And I don't know why you can't just sit down and enjoy your soup and salad. Oh, fuck's sake.
Ahead of time.
Well, we're not going to do that. If they come in, great. We'll sit them like we seat everyone because we treat everyone the same here, which is why you always dine in here, even though we don't want you filming in here.
Right. And I never filmed in here previously. Exactly.
Okay. So what I'm going to tell you is, if you're going to come in, you have that table. It's your table. But you can't ask me if my people are
I'm about to show you how we make
leaking person. My people don't have so much information about you. You're the one on Facebook. You're on TikTok. That's
Right.
not us. That's you.
Right. I
Okay?
am getting notified.
Well, it's probably trolls. It could be trolls. Remember, they're calling us about you, so they're probably talking to you about us. You know what I mean?
Right.
So you just do what you're gonna do, and when your people get here, we have your table. Okay?
All right. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
This poor manager is really just doing as much as she can to try to help Daniel, because even she sees how crazy the trolling's getting because of all the phone calls that they're getting. At one point she even brings up this may be normal to him, but it's not normal to them, and that's something that goes completely over Daniel's head, because since this is his life, he imagines that everyone else just lives like very similarly hectic lives. When the manager brings up to Daniel that, you're trying to reserve 8 seats for a table and order all this food, but you're claiming the people are already outside, why can't they just come in? Daniel has like this 1,000-yard stare on his face, because even he knows it doesn't make any sense. But he can't question his own sanity, because then he might have to come to grips with Grace Vanderwall, at least the one he's talking to, not being real. As a matter of fact, he's also using the excuse that the FBI is out front, and they're holding Grace and her family back from coming in the store. There's so much security going on around Daniel that like the FBI is there, all his security is desperately ringing him up to let him know what's going on. In his mind, this is like some massive deal, and to everyone else around him, it's just some crazy dude losing his mind inside of an Olive Garden. But Daniel's standing his ground. Daniel is 100% confident that these are the people leaking his nudes, and the only proof he needs to tell him that are these random trolls texting him about it. Now, I talked about Daniel needing to be like behind bars so all this stops, but also these people who are constantly texting him, getting him to go out and harass all these people in the public are a pretty big problem too. Everyone knows how terrible of a person Daniel is. Daniel has gone after minors many times in the past. Daniel has said some things in the past about minors that really just it's some sickening stuff you don't even want to repeat. And so if people are going to troll him, I'm not going to sit here and say the dude doesn't deserve it. But you know who definitely doesn't deserve it? All of these people who Daniel keeps harassing, who are just trying to do their job. I mean, come on, why do you got to keep sending him to places where you know he's just going to cause a scene?
Why isn't this guy in a mental institution by now? Like, this is... Wow, you just gotta keep watching the video to see what he does.
And possibly even like cause people to have to leave the restaurant. It's just going to be a terrible time for everyone involved. If you're going to do this stuff to him, just tell him to go to like like, I don't know, like a lake, like somewhere where there's not people. I've said it a million times on this channel, but I hate when I see innocent people get caught up in the crossfire of these locales' bullshit, and it's just, they don't deserve that, because of how much, like, of lunatics these people are. Why do random people on the streets gotta deal with, like, consequences for it? Shouldn't happen that way. But, like I said before, the fact that he's even out on the street in general is just gonna keep making this shit happen. So I don't know, man. I don't know. You'd think after a while, people can say he did nothing wrong. You know, Daniel's not doing anything illegal. But at the end of this video, he does, you bet your ass he does something illegal. So let's go on and see what he does next.
Happening as we speak. It's going on outside, and I'm inside, and I can't physically see all the way around. I can't see what is going on. I'm learning information as we speak. Once again, all sexual harassment in this group chat will not be tolerated. And we do have reason to believe that the manager was printing off nude photos of me off of a troll website. I see the footage. I see the footage. I'm being sent from Rick Yorn. I'm being sent like actual photos of Grace being assaulted by police right now. I have full proof of Grace being assaulted. Coming in, pictures and everything.
It's worth mentioning that the photo Daniel is referring to is of some random arrest footage from like a few years back. Daniel really believes, like hook, line, and sinker, that this is Grace, and right outside of the doors of this Olive Garden, she is being assaulted by the police, yet here he sits inside the Olive Garden doing nothing about it.
I'm performing a citizen's arrest, so the FBI is outside. I have more than enough photos coming in. Okay.
Who are you arresting?
I'm arresting every single person here. I'm arresting all employees.
You're telling me that you're a celebrity?
Yes.
Okay, do people take pictures of celebrities, right?
Right, but you were back in back.
Yes.
Printing off documents.
I was?
You said that and it's on video.
I was printing off documents?
Yes.
Okay, so here's the deal. I'm gonna ask you to come over here actually. Over here. We've been very nice. Like that's what I'm gonna tell you. You're not filming me, correct?
I am legally required to.
No, you can actually just leave now.
I don't have to leave. The FBI is here. I have fucking photos.
Okay, sir, this is what I'm gonna tell you. You're gonna calm down right now. You're gonna stop filming me, or I'm gonna call the police and they're gonna remove you from here. I know that's what you want. I know that's what you're famous for on TikTok, but we are not doing this. You're gonna curse at me again, or you're going to leave.
I never cursed.
Okay, sir. What I'm gonna tell you right now is you're gonna stop filming and you're going to leave, or I'm going to call the police right now.
Go ahead and call the police.
Thank you. I will.
She doesn't need your goddamn permission to call the police, dude. You're in a private establishment and they have the right to refuse service. Crazy town. Oh my God, with this guy.
I just got sent pictures and photos of Grace being assaulted. I'm not gonna just sit here and call those photos fake. I got sent them from the fucking FBI.
I'm gonna ask you again about the person. There's children in here. I'm gonna ask you again.
I have photos.
I need you to lower your voice.
The FBI is gonna send you photos of somebody you don't know who you're stalking. Right? That's what's happening here, Daniel? Okay.
So now Daniel is basically getting in the face of these workers, telling them that they're under citizen's arrest. You know, Daniel's decided that he's finally cracked the code. If the police aren't going to help him, if the FBI's not going to help him, well then Daniel's going to do it himself. All you Olive Garden workers, you know, basically stand down, wait till the police get here, because Daniel's got some words for you. And I know I've already talked about just how much it's gotta suck to be one of these workers, but also imagine just how mind-blowing it is too. You have this guy coming in here claiming that, hey, you and all your staff, stop leaking my naked photos. like that's something I guarantee you, these people never in their wildest dreams thought they'd be accused of on this day.
Right.
Yet here comes Daniel Larson to blow everybody's minds. The fact that he said fuck on 2 occasions and then had the nerve to tell this lady, I'm not even cursing, ma'am. Daniel always thinks...
And there's a toddler in the waiting room, and he's doing this right in front of a toddler.
He's in the right. He thinks that anything that happens is just undeniable proof that he can show to the police or anyone he's trying to prove wrong, and they'll just believe it. It's dangerous how gullible this guy is.
I just got word from the FBI and Rick Yorn, LBI Entertainment, that you are being sued.
He's becoming belligerent. I got some not feel.
I'm sorry. How would the FBI know about a lawsuit? Give me a break. How would the FBI know about a civil lawsuit? Give me a break.
I'm literally watching him filming it right now. He said he has the right to be here, basically, and he doesn't have to turn off his camera. It doesn't seem like he has weapons, but I don't know.
I don't have weapons. I don't carry weapons on me. I just got notified that Rick Yorn at LBI Entertainment, who is the CEO, has called the head manager and the CEO of all Olive Gardens, and you're fired. They're working on firing you.
Oh my god, he's so crazy. He's literally just reading like chat comments and believing that somebody who's impersonating this Rick Yorn person is, oh yes, I've talked to the CEO of Olive Garden, and she's obviously fired. She's literally doing her job. She's doing exactly what a manager should do. And this guy, oh, you're fired. Oh, really? Dude, you're about to be arrested. I hope that I didn't watch it to the full end of it, but I hope we get to see him get cuffed.
They might be on their way.
They might be on their way, but don't know yet. Wow. So in other words, the police are also trolling along with you. So, wow. That's a bunch of information now that I needed. Wow, thank you.
You're so welcome.
The police might show up. They don't even know. Okay. And I also got told that the employees are the ones that also leaked my location here, and now they're getting spam called.
Dude is live streaming. He's doxing himself on TikTok right now. That he's at Olive Garden and he has a table for 8 and the FBI is outside, right? Like, he's literally telling everybody where he is, and he's like, oh no, it's your employees. Your employees are doxing me.
Daniel is basically just repeating whatever these random trolls on the other side of the phone are telling him to tell this woman that she's going to lose her job. And again, it shows how gullible Daniel is. And in a few moments, you're really going to find out just how far off the deep end Daniel's gotten at this point. Let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. It is one thing for these random people who have built a little modicum of trust with Daniel to get Daniel to do this stuff, because Daniel's very easily manipulated. Daniel is someone who will just put trust in people right away and basically do whatever they say. But one thing I didn't think Daniel would do is simply look down at the chat during this live stream. Because, oh, by the way, this was live, might I add. He did this. This isn't a video he posted after the fact. The chat was going crazy the whole time. There were like 2,000 people in here. These streams, the likes of this, haven't been seen since the night before when Cobra had his own kind of meltdown. But nonetheless, Daniel had about 2,000 people in chat, and a lot of people were spamming under different names, just trying to catch Daniel's attention, and usually Daniel barely looks at chat, and he'll just ban anyone who seems like a troll. Well, tonight it was a little bit different because Daniel had a lot going on, and the chat was much crazier than it ever is for him, but there were a bunch of comments coming in at a rapid fire rate, and they were all telling Daniel to do a certain thing. And I didn't think Daniel would look down and just decide, oh, fuck it, and do it, but he did. And that's why he's so dangerously gullible. That's why he's so easily convinced. And what I'm about to show you now, when I first saw it, my jaw dropped.
Got sent pictures from what's going on outside too, so I am more than aware. Emergency, we need you.
Well, if you didn't think the police were coming, they are now. That's fucking illegal. You can't just be pulling the fire alarm like that.
Fact of the matter is, the people in chat are not responsible for that. Daniel is his own person. The fact that people are just messing with him in chat, he read it and decided, you know, that's a good idea, and went and did it, just shows that this dude can be convinced of anything, no matter how low effort it is. I mean, look at these people. There's dudes putting in hours pretending to be security guards and fake Grace Vanderwalls, all to get Daniel to do menial stuff. Yet here are a few people in chat just spamming, pull the fire alarm, and he does it. It's the most low of low effort trolling, and I bet you it even stunned at the guys who were saying it in the first place, because no one thought Daniel would do that, but he did. And Daniel thought it was a good idea because, well, it'll get the police and the FBI in here right now. Because in Daniel's mind, remember, he does believe he's the victim here. All these people are currently under citizen's arrest because they were sharing these explicit pictures of him online. So in his mind, pulling the fire alarm was actually the right thing to do because it would get help in there for him quicker. Now, this is, again, another reason why this dude needs to be off the streets. He's gonna do this every time he feels wronged. He tries to use the police, the FBI, anyone who has any semblance of power as his own personal weapon. And so you might remember at the beginning of the video when I said Daniel was on probation, and he is. And you know what's even funnier? Daniel got arrested 2 nights before this as well, yet he's still out here walking on the streets. And now, after this, which is another misdemeanor, I believe, just pulling the fire alarm for no reason, well, you want to take a wild guess where Daniel is tonight? And if your answer was in a jail cell, you'd be sorely mistaken, because Daniel is walking free. I don't know how he can keep eluding not going to jail time and time again, but here we are. I know there's going to be people in the comments who know this stuff a lot better than me, and maybe they'll have a reason to say that's why Daniel's not been arrested or anything's happened, but the fact that this happens over and over and over again is it's getting a bit absurd. Not even a bit absurd. The fact that this stuff even happens once, yet it happening on like a bi-weekly basis, is something that really needs to be looked into more. But seems like the cops are just all like, yeah, that's our local neighborhood Daniel right there. He's a kooky little bastard.
Now the managers are joking that that was funny.
Are you going to let the greedy heating companies and their crazy
are the ones escalating this? And I got pictures going on. Let me see. I'm being sent more pictures. We have the FBI coming in. When you pulled it, run. Give me 1 second. I'm reading all the messages I'm getting. You might want to get out of the area. No, I got sent pictures. Let me see here. Okay, and then I'm waiting at this point to perform the citizen's arrest. So I'm waiting until the police show up, and I will explain everything.
While Daniel is trying to explain everything, the fire alarm ends up going off again because the workers who are trying to fix it end up setting it off a few more times. And Daniel, when the cops come later, Daniel ends up telling them, yeah, you know, I pulled the fire alarm, and then these workers ended up setting it off like 2 or 3 more times, like blaming them for being like, come on guys, figure it out, you know? He's so sure that the FBI is gonna bust in any second and just arrest all of these workers at this Olive Garden as Daniel stands there triumphantly, you know, just getting back his pride for all of his nude pictures getting leaked online, I guess. I mean, another question could be, hey Daniel, why'd you even take them in the first place and end up sending them to trolls? Because it wouldn't be the first time I've heard of Daniel getting mad that these pictures got leaked online. It's the age-old story of never put these pictures online, my friend. No matter who you are, even if you're not Daniel Larson, don't be an idiot. As the ancient Hawaiians say, the fool who exposes himself to the village gets weird looks at the luau.
Fire trucks just showed up.
So eventually the fire department does show up. And again, it goes back to Daniel now just making people who are trying to do their job completely waste their time and have to deal with some bullshit. Because here are people who are supposed to be standing by in case like a fire happens, in case they need to spring into action to do something. And Daniel, always wasting those taxpayer dollars, getting them here to this Olive Garden in order to bitch to one of them about his problems online with the trolls. Not even really with the trolls this time, but with the supposed trolls inside of this Olive Garden.
How are we doing?
I'm waiting for the police to show up.
Okay. What's going on tonight?
I will not say until the police show up. I'm filing for a citizen's arrest.
Okay.
How do you file for a citizen's arrest? Do you have some sort of paperwork, Daniel? What are you doing? How do you file for a citizen's arrest?
Do you need any medical attention?
I don't.
No?
Such a smug little guy is Larson. Here comes this fireman just making sure that Daniel's all good, asking him why he did what he did. Daniel's like, nope, I won't speak to you. I know I just pulled the fire alarm to make you guys come out here, but you know what? I don't want you here. I want the police. Which again would beg the question of why he pulled the fire alarm. But in Larson's mind, he assumed they would show up with the fire department, you know? Right. But they didn't. And here is only this poor fireman trying to figure out what's going on here. And Daniel hasn't even got time for him. I won't say nothing until the cops show up. And eventually the cops do show up. And it's really not that eventful. Daniel just gives the same spiel that he's been giving all day long. And mind you, this has been an all-day process. Apparently Daniel was sitting at this Olive Garden for hours. He actually complained about that at one point, saying that I sat there for 2 hours and they didn't come up and offer me any service. And it's like, the lady already brought up that they've dealt with Daniel before. He always sits here, records, despite them asking him not to record. I imagine they don't want him there at all. But if he is going to have this massive dinner party full of big wigs and like hot shots in the music industry, well, then they'll entertain the idea. But I think they all knew, no matter what, there was nothing of the sort happening this day. But Daniel...
Well, I can assure you that there are no big wigs in the music industry that are going to want to eat at Olive Garden. That is lower middle class dining right there.
Sat here all day waiting for this cop to show up, and when they did, Daniel, just like I said, he said the same exact stuff. The cop listened, and Daniel's not arrested, so who knows? Nothing happened. Daniel, I don't think, got trespassed. He definitely didn't get arrested. So this whole situation, all the bullshit these people had to go through that day, just means nothing now because Daniel's walking free. This dude he's impervious of having to face consequences for his actions, and it's becoming just absolutely ridiculous at this point. It seems like had anyone else done this, at least anyone else who's not a lolcow, someone who I guess the police look at and go, oh man, this poor...
I love BetterHelp. Therapy has truly changed my life.
I've been in and out of therapy with BetterHelp for a few years now.
Or a guy, they'd be in jail right now. When people are on probation, you can't slip up at all. And Daniel Larson is like, he's on a fucking slip and slide. This dude, he can't help himself. And it's not, the trolls obviously aren't helping it, but I'm not going to sit here and act like the trolls are the biggest problem. They're not. And despite what a lot of people say, saying that Daniel would be fine if it weren't for all these trolls in his life, look at all this bullshit he gets into without the trolls getting involved. Remember back when he was at that ice cream shop? Some dude saw him in there and started messing with Daniel a little bit, but then he runs outside, tried to swing on that random dude out front. Like, Daniel always tries to hurt other people in the process when he feels like he's being troubled. He doesn't care about anybody else other than himself. That's why he constantly tries to say that either security, the FBI, the police, they're always going to come down on anyone who simply opposes Daniel. And it's like, when's it gonna end? That's what I want to know. How's it gonna end and when's it gonna end? Because you don't want to see anyone getting hurt because Daniel's bullshit. So you gotta ask yourself the question on if things would be better if this dude was locked away. And I think they would. But I want to know what you guys know in the comments. I'm going to get out of here, though. Daniel Larson had an absolutely crazy day, and we'll be talking about this later over on Kiwi Tapes' channel for a Too High for Stupid emergency episode. I hope you guys stop by and enjoy that one. But yeah, I didn't really even expect to make this today. Just so happened that Daniel Larson went nuts, and
I don't even know who this guy is, but holy shit. Oh my god. Okay, I will drop the